Hello and welcome to another edition of Knickerbocker Banter. I'm your host, as always, Harris Wishard, and last night means war. How else can we explain it? Joel Embiid, what he did in the first quarter of that basketball game was dirty. And I'm not going to spend the next few days complaining about it. I'm just going to get ready for Sunday. And I think the Knicks are going to do the same thing, right? We understand what happened wasn't basketball. We understood the physicality was going to raise, the intensity level was going to go up. We knew those things up 2-0, especially in the fashion that the Knicks won game 2 in. And you understood the officials might have the slight advantage to the Sixers in this game 3. But I'm not going to cry this morning. I'm not going to get all worked up. Well, the passion level and the excitement level, and you had to be angry last night too, but I'm worried about winning. I'm not worried about getting the cheap shot back, putting Sims in or Precious in to take a shot at his knees. I understand what happened was dangerous. I know Robinson was banged up going in. I'm not defending Embiid in the slightest. In fact, he's become my least favorite player in basketball. And this rivalry and this series is going to go to another level now. Because you turn the corner of making it personal. By that flagrant foul, Lowry took a little bit of a cheap shot to DiVincenzo, and there's bad blood between these two teams. Welcome to playoff basketball, but again, this is something that you saw 20, 25 years ago fairly often, right? I didn't expect anyone to get swept out like that. But I'll tell you what, there was always a retaliation. There was always someone standing up for somebody. Oh no, listen, the Knicks have to stand their ground. I'm going to continue to say, I don't need anybody to dive at Joel Embiid's legs. I'll continue to say that, but I need someone to stand up to the guy. I need people to go chest to chest with him and say, this is what I'm going to do about it. I'm going to crash the glass. The Knicks got beat on the glass yesterday. Let's focus on that too. Let's focus on the hustle part of this too. I'm frustrated as anybody. I was screaming. I was angry. I was upset yesterday. But I'm turning the page and I'm concerned about how the Knicks are going to win this series. How they're going to send him home. That's the best revenge. Send this crybaby loser home. Talented as anybody. 50 points. Great offensive player. Got to send him home. And Sunday could go a long way in that. So you look at this game yesterday, and the Knicks came out with a ton of energy. And they came out even through that flagrant foul and through the way Philly played in the first quarter. Ironically, on the road, the Knicks played their best first quarter, right? They were up by 2. They were up at 3 at half. They closed the half strong. Again, only having Robinson for 12 minutes and not in the second half was a big factor in this game. But I'll tell you what, and you knew this was going to happen as well. At home, your role guys played better. Cameron Payne, a little bit more of an impact. Kelly Oubre, a little bit more of an impact. Kyle Lowry, a little bit more of an impact. And that's not surprising. So, as much as everybody wants to get caught up in the Embiid nonsense, which, again, it's hard not to be, but I want to focus on the basketball side of this. I want to focus how the Knicks can advance, not how dirty of a player this guy is. He's had a history of this. It's not surprising. He has more flagrant fouls than Draymond Green in 481 less games. This is kind of what he does. But he asked the Knicks players, what are you going to do about it? I'll tell you what they're going to do about it. They're going to go win the series. They're going to go win. That's what the response is here. And you got to get into this guy's chest, and you got to go face to face with the beast and say, listen, you're not pushing anybody around out here. You're going to throw a couple cheap shots. We're going to match your physicality. We're going to match the effort level that we had in the first 2 games of the series. Whether the game is played in New York, Philadelphia, or Mars. It doesn't matter. Let's go. Let's lace them up and let's go to war. As I've referred to it, World for game 4. It's on. Jalen Brunson came to play. Okay? I don't know if anyone is really concerned about him and his energy and his efforts, but 39 and 13, he shot close to 50% from the field. He got to his spots. He was the normal Jalen Brunson that we were used to. And the Knicks did not lose this game because of him. He carried the load offensively. He was spectacular at times. He made a shot in the second half that I'm still trying to figure out how it went in. I like what I saw from Anunoby. Offensively was not the issue. The Knicks scored 114 points. They shot close to 50% from the field as a team. And they shot 43% from three. Josh Hart, another 4 threes. Timely hoops. Couldn't stop the big fella. And the third quarter of doom. An interesting stat that I saw on the box score, the line score, whatever you want to call it. First quarter, Knicks win 29-27. Second quarter, they win 29-28. Third quarter, they lost 43-27. And then the fourth quarter, they won 29-28. Or 29-27, excuse me. But essentially played 3 very solid quarters. And then the doors got blown off from Embiid going 4 for 4 from deep. And we've seen that quarter be an issue for the Knicks earlier in the year. It seemed like they fixed it towards the end of the season. But they couldn't get stops. Lowry timely shot. Maxey continues to have his way in this series from an offensive standpoint. And you give up 125 is not a formula for success. But like I said, you're getting some much-needed lift from Josh Hart, Hartenstein. These guys are getting you the baskets that you need to stay with the likes of a Philadelphia. Now it's time to really buckle down and be who you say you are. Do you know what I find interesting? Every team in the post-game pressers, and when they're asked about the Knicks, they're always talking about physicality this, physicality that. We're going to match your intensity. That's what the Knicks are known for. They do it the clean way, though. 99.9% of the time, you don't have to worry about the Knicks taking cheap shots at you. They just play the right way. They play with a lot of grit. I've seen a couple flagrants here or there from the Knicks, but for the most part, right, they do it the blue-collar way. They take the right approach. They might have to get a little chippy in this series throughout the final few games. Like I said, I thought Philadelphia was going to, serve at home. They did for game 3. I really hope that the Knicks can go out and win a game 4. Like I said, my prediction for this series was Knicks in 7. If the Knicks go out and win it in 5 or 6, awesome. I just saw it as a long series. Embiid backed up his talk. Regardless of what you think of him, he's a very annoying guy right now. But he did say, hey, we're going to go out, we're going to win games. And he had 50. What's the response there? What is your answer? If Robinson's unavailable, that would be very unfortunate. We hope that he can make it through and push through as he tried yesterday. He's been battling even before that cheap shot by Joel. But what is the answer now? What's the game plan? Do you have to start sending more attention? Do you have to start sending a second guy? What are they going to do? Because you can't just let him look at the basket and shoot. Right? If he has the space that he has, especially with the rhythm that he had yesterday, that's not the answer. So they're going to have to figure some things out and try to take this back to New York at 3-1. But let's go. This is playoff basketball. This is rivalry. This is the intensity. I could do without the dirty stuff, of course. And I'll be the first one to tell you that a couple of those plays were flat out wrong. But what do you want to do? You want to sit in the corner and sulk about it? You want to tell the NBA to find the guy? Do you want to do what the Sixer fans did after game 2? That's not it, guys. That's not it. Let's go. The best revenge is on the court. The best revenge is getting a basketball win and sending this crybaby home. That's all I'm thinking about. I can't wait for Sunday. I don't know if you could tell or not. I can't wait. for Sunday at 1 o'clock. It's going to be great. It's going to be like this. You need some adversity in a series sometimes. You didn't expect this to be a cakewalk. We talked to Dance yesterday. We've talked to some other Knicks fans. We talked to some other guys that have come on this program. We knew that it wasn't going to be all sunshine and rainbows in this series. There's too much talent on the other end. But I like the makeup of this group, as I've talked about a lot on Knickerbocker Banter, and I think they will come through. I don't know if it's in Game 4. Hopefully it would be in a Game 5 at home, but Embiid coming back to the Garden is going to get as hostile of a treatment as maybe anybody ever in my lifetime. Because when you mess with the Knicks, you mess with the Knicks fan base. And you mess with New York City. To me, this is great. I want to see everybody healthy, of course. But to me, the bad blood now created is going to give you action. And it's turned into the most dramatic first-round series in the NBA playoffs. So my message isn't goon squad off the bench, dive at the guy's knees. Go dunk on him a few times. Go be a real tough guy. Go chest to chest and answer in a way that's going to be productive for this basketball team. And then we go from there. Listen, you got a 39-13 from Brunson. You've had other guys play well in this series. You have some good things to feel good about on the offensive end. You got to tweak some things now. There's adjustments. That's how the series goes. This is when Tibbs earns his paycheck. This is when he goes back and does the film and says, this is what we need to do. This is our strategy. It's going to get hectic. It's going to get a little wild. The NBA is going to have to control it. They got their game, though. They got their game coming off the controversy. It's not shocking. It would be shocking if the Knicks didn't respond in some way, shape, or form. I would be personally surprised if they didn't match it. Somebody's got to get in there and get dirty with this guy. And not in the way that you think I mean. I'm talking about just, I'm not backing down from you. I don't care who you are. This is what I'm going to do about it. And then we go from there. And then the chips fall as they may. It's going to be extremely entertaining. And you just root on your team. You hope things go well. Listen, I know yesterday was deflating. It was devastating. It was crushing. You never want to lose in the playoffs, right? You feel all those emotions, and then you wake up, and then you get ready for the next one. And the Knicks are professionals. They're consummate professionals. And I expect them to be ready for battle, for war, as I've said, in Game 4. I appreciate all the support. Enjoy this. All right? Try not to have the blood pressure go too high. And we'll be back on Sunday after Game 4 on the Banter. Talk to you soon.